Lyrics and Lives, reporting live from the icebox.
Funny.
Money Green, Shayz on the mic. Talk to him.
You always got your little Joan on, right?
No,
They don't know what you're talking about, but I do.
We're not in our normal location. We're normally in Maryland, but we bounced out to LA to record one weekend, and right now it just so happens that we're in Alaska, or it feels like Alaska.
Oh gosh!
So, I wanted to talk about R. Kelly's music and people boycotting it. So this is interesting because people say mute R. Kelly. Does that really mean to cut the music off? Does that mean not to support him? Or does that mean lock him up? Or all the above, or a combination? And I ask the question because a lot of people have personal opinions, or opinions of he's a bad guy, he's allegedly a child molester. We saw this on video, that was definitely him, and he married this 15-year-old. All these things against him. It goes on and on. Documentary on him. Everything goes on and on. It's a long list of things against him. Being a bad person, an immoral person, etc. However, if you stop listening to his music, or you stop supporting his music, because he hasn't been able to get shows
overseas.
He hasn't been able to perform. Okay, well, let's talk about America. He hasn't been able to perform in the United States for the most part and make the money that he is accustomed to making. No arenas, no stadiums. So, not feeling sorry for him, but since he hasn't been able to perform, he does have how many children? 3 kids?
Yep.
So if he has 3 kids, how are they supposed to be taken care of?
That's a very good question.
Because a lot of people, of course, are done with him and the music and disgusted by the thought of him, and mute R. Kelly, of course. But you got to think about these teenagers. If they are teenagers, I don't know their exact ages.
I think the oldest one is 18 because she was on a video with her mom.
All right.
So she's 18. I think the other ones maybe 12, and then Robert Jr. I think they're like in their preteens.
All right. So if they're between the ages of 12 and 18, they still need to be taken care of. Of
Correct.
course, the mother is trying to do her thing, and who knows how much she earns. But that's an opportunity for him to take care of his kids. And he lives off of performing. Although a lot of that money goes to allegedly corrupt, immoral behavior. But putting that to the side, the kids still need to be taken care of, and they should be taken care of by legal means. And he had the means and the ability to do so. So, unfortunately, he's not making money off of his music or his masters. Everything he makes money off of has to do with performing live. So where's that money? So reportedly, or allegedly, his masters are owned by Aaliyah's uncle and Aaliyah's mother. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but they say he doesn't own his masters. His manager does, or his former manager, which would be Aaliyah's uncle.
Correct.
And then the mother, they say, was cut in when she found out about certain things.
Correct.
That's what's been alleged, which means that R. Kelly had the opportunity, or the mother and father, because her parents are married, allegedly they had the opportunity to bury R. Kelly, to get him locked up. But instead, they were granted the masters, allegedly, to some of his music, or all of his music for a certain period of time, as well as their daughter's career maintaining a certain, a certain ascension. But you don't hear anything about the mother now, other than a few statements about her daughter, about Aaliyah. But that means that she turned her back for the money. And that would be a lot of money, because I Believe I Can Fly and everything from that to Trapped in the Closet to Step in the Name of Love, none of those belong to R. Kelly. Backyard Party. None of that belongs to R. Kelly. If the allegations are true, that means he pretty much sacrificed his money and earning potential and his masters and his freedom. He sacrificed that for being a pedophile. In exchange for his freedom, he gave those things up. So although he walked free, he still is a slave when it comes to his art and musically. I got you thinking. Like, dang, so all this time he's been making all this bomb music.
But too, does that include the score that he did for the movie
Batman? Everything.
Does that also the collaborations that he did with other artists, and also his writing? He wrote for
all of that. All of that goes.
Is sacrificed.
Right. Yes, allegedly,
but
all of that goes.
Let me ask you this. The songs that he collaborated with other artists or wrote for other artists, when those songs are being played, because if you're saying mute R. Kelly, are you just muting R. Kelly's music, or are you muting everything he had his hands on? Because if I hear Fortunate, do he get money from that every time it gets played?
That's by Maxwell.
Yeah, but he wrote it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's Maxwell.
So my thing is Michael Jackson's song,
You Are Not Alone.
You Are Not Alone. When that plays on the radio,
R. Kelly
does
wrote
he get some money
that.
from that?
The person who has the masters
gets money from it.
Right.
But my point is, since you went that deep about R. Kelly's mute R. Kelly, we're going even a layer deeper, because the songs that he wrote for people, are you muting them too? Because his hands was on it. You see what I'm saying?
Some people are.
So that means, but there's a whole lot of songs that you're going to be muting that he wrote or he sung with, like Celine Dion. He wrote songs for her. They did a song together.
I'm Your Angel.
Yeah, they did Lady Gaga. She's taken, I guess, her songs that she did with him. But I only have one reservation about that. She did all these things at the time when she was new. She did all these things on her when they had their tour together.
Right.
So my thing is, she can't just get on R. Kelly when she participated in some of these things on stage. But then that was a sidebar.
All right, but you said two things. I want to keep it on one of those two things.
Okay.
The first thing is, when you mute R. Kelly, if you're really muting his music and you're not going to support nor listen to his music, are you going to do the same for his collaborations or songs that he produced for other people, so other people are singing it?
Correct, because I've heard some songs that he collaborated with people on the radio.
So that would take a lot of effort.
Yes.
You would literally, a person would have to get a list of everything R. Kelly ever participated in. And I don't know who has the time for that.
Yeah.
But maybe someone would do that and they'll come up with a chart of 200 or 300 songs, if not more, and list them one by one. It's a guide for people who want to mute R. Kelly and everybody who ever worked with R. Kelly.
Because he's done remixes to people's songs. Even Sierra, that song she did, he did a remix to her song. What's that? I cannot think of his name. It starts with a D.
Well, just going for Batman.
Anyway.
That means you have to cut the whole, you can't watch the movie.
But didn't he do some songs on Space Jams?
Well, I Believe I Can Fly with Space Jam.
Yeah.
So that means you have to cut that off or fast forward through that scene. So it takes effort to really mute him if you're serious.
Right.
But the second part you mentioned, but that would be interesting if someone came up with that long list. But the second thing you were talking about, Lady Gaga, taking her music down. and any other artist who ever worked with him, taking the music off Apple or whatever, that may stop sales or future sales for that artist. But you got to think, Lady Gaga has been paid millions off of that song. So you've already pulled in the lion's share of that money. So if the span of that song has $10 million on it, and you already made $9.5 million over the past 5-10 years, no one, it's not going to hurt you to say, okay, I'm going to take this down off of Apple. Oh, the CDs have been sold, the song has been performed in concert, you sold X amount of albums and streams or what have you.
Right.
So that money has been made. So Lady Gaga wouldn't lose anything. She wouldn't lose she would lose crumbs.
I understand that everybody's mad at R. Kelly because of what he's done, but he's helped a lot of people's career with writing their music and have given them lots of money and lined their pockets.
Yeah, well, but what do you do about, and most of them, I'm gonna say 99% of them, knew who he was and what he was about before he helped. But they went for that money. Okay, well, he was found innocent. They could say that to themselves all day long. He was found innocent. So yes, produce this album, do this for me, do that for me. Let's make this money.
Yep, because if we even go deeper, he's done some gospel music for some artists.
Yes, he's done gospel.
So
you gonna cut the gospel music off? So where does it stop?
So where does it end?
Okay, so if he gets locked up, would it be okay to listen to his music then?
You always try to put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
anybody else here? We don't have a studio audience yet.
Next time we need one. My opinion, and I'm probably gonna get some backlash for this, and I actually talked to a couple of people about this the other day, and they was like, they wouldn't buy, if R. Kelly made new music, they wouldn't buy it.
Right.
But the music that they have, they would listen to it because there was some time and places and spaces where they were when that R. Kelly song came on. And it has nothing to do with his lifestyle and what he did.
Right.
It's not condoning. I'm not condoning what he did is wrong. But because I was a diehard R. Kelly fan, I still like R. Kelly's music. He's an artist. He's a genius in what he does. But the bad thing about it is people are not going to say, hey, Shayz, I'm with you on that, because some people cannot differentiate what he's done in his music. You understand? So to me, I still listen to R. Kelly here and there, not as much as I used to because of what's going on. Kind of want to see how all this falls out, what's going on. But I have to give him his props where it's due at. He is good at his craft. His personal life, not so much.
You can give him props.
I'm going to give him props for his music that he's done.
Yeah, but you still know he's a scumbag.
I still know he's a scumbag.
And regardless of how everything plays out lawfully and with the legalities, you still know he's guilty in your mind. So it doesn't matter how that plays out. If you want to keep listening to the music, that's on you.
I will keep listening to his music to a certain extent. I'm not listening to his music whole like I used to.
But hold on, but it's tainted.
Yeah.
No, and I don't mean personally his music is tainted. I'm saying whenever you hear an R. Kelly song, because of all this stuff going on, instantly in your mind you're like, surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah, because now when I hear "Seems Like You're Ready," it kind of puts me like, who ready?
All right, but even
14 years old ready? But so my thing is, when you listen to his music, it do put you in a place, because when you was listening to his music, certain things was going on. The summertime.
That's a nostalgia back in the day.
Right. But now when you listen to his music, you do feel some kind of way because of what you know that has happened. So even if it's a different feel when you hear the song.
Okay, there we go. So even if it's an inspirational song like "You Saved Me," has nothing to do with sex. You know what song I'm talking about? You saved me, whoa, you saved me. that's sort of a gospel type motivational song. It's a song that tells the listener to keep going regardless of what you go through in life.
Right.
It still has a lining because of his voice. When I hear his voice, I automatically think of Surviving R. Kelly now. It's automatic. Then I think of some of the stories within the documentary. Then I think about some of the articles I've read or other people being interviewed telling stories about him. And that's messed up because you fall in love with the art. But now the person behind the art is messing up his own art.
Correct.
And that's similar to a couple of other artists, but I'm gonna stay away from that. So he doesn't own his masters, so his kids can't eat off of his masters. All they could eat off of was his live performances. And he was not allowed to really perform live because of the people boycotting him,
The backlash of all this
and outside picketing and protesting. So that messes things up for his kids. So even though they're upset with him and they're turned off and disgusted by their own father, they still need to be taken care of. So that's the only bad thing to me that came from him not being able to perform.
Well, his daughter stated in an interview on the news that she still loves her father. She's sorry that what's going on happened, but
To the girls, to the victims.
but
That's what she said.
right.
That's
But
what-
at the end of the day, that's still my dad.
Right.
You know, so.
But-
And I'm hoping that the kids are not getting so much backlash too because that's their father. You can't control what other people do, but people can be cruel to people who are associated
Yeah, other
with
kids.
that person.
Other kids, yeah, he
other
catch
kids
it.
can be mean, cruel, and evil to each other. Okay, yeah, that's my dad, but I didn't do it. You know, so it's unfortunately that they're associated with him, and things could be, you know, happen with those kids at school or so forth. You know,
So
that's a bad thing.
So, and I'm still thinking about the kids, like you just spoke of. And even though he would do bad things with 99% of that money he would make from them shows that would help the kids, because that money wasn't going to them. Now, if they could find a way for 100% of them funds to go to the kids that he was performing with, or I would say 95% or 90%, you know, after his production costs or whatever, that would be the bomb. And it wouldn't bother me at all for people supporting that. But yeah, stopping a person's way of making money or means of making money when they have kids, that's bad, especially if that person can't find another way to make money.
Then a lot of this Me Too move, including since we're talking about R. Kelly, but if you think about all these men who have been exploited on Me Too, who have kids, and they can no longer do the job that they were doing, then what do you go to? If you now have been blackballed, I'm not saying it in a feeling sorry for them, but what do you do now? Once you've been called out, Me Too, when you got all these allegations against you, basically you can't work anymore. What can you do? Like, what's the other guy's name who has in the Me Too? He was first. Is it Harry Weinstein?
Oh, Weinstein, yeah.
Okay.
Harvey
Weinstein.
Harvey's a
all these-
multi-millionaire. He's probably in the hundreds of millions.
So he probably has enough money to
Right.
sustain him.
He does.
But what about other people that's been a part of this Me Too and who's in jail too, or who now lost their jobs? Like Charlie Rose, he might have money, but Charlie Rose, other people, like what do they do now that they can't be in the limelight? They can't be out there making the money and doing the thing that they love. What do you do now?
Here's the lesson. If you are an artist, and we're just going to talk about artists here, whether you're acting, you're a producer, you're a director, you're a singer, if you're going to rape women, if you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to drug people, if you're going to abuse women in any way, be it with your fists, your feet, anything, you better have a whole bunch of money saved up, because hopefully you will go down. And when you do, somebody or something needs to be established for your kids. And that's a weird way of thinking about it, because they don't think about that type of stuff. They don't think they're ever going to get caught, or they don't think their transgressions will ever be brought to the attention of the masses or to the world. But if you have young kids especially, you better set them up nicely, because your downfall should come sooner than later, and they need to be taken care of. Because I don't really care about the person who does the crime, if they're raping people or being a pedophile or what have you. But something needs to be, done for the kids. So that's my main concern. Money Green loves the kids. It's always been that way. So R. Kelly's music, for me, you said that you still will listen to it. And I'm thinking of those who mute him when they walk into a store or a restaurant and they hear the music. Do they walk out? If you're sitting in a restaurant and it comes on, a little elevator type music, do you get up and walk out, or do you go to the manager, or do you tell the waiter, hey, tell them to cut that song off, or take that? How deep does his muting go, whether he's locked up or not? How far do you go with it? Because I can understand somebody breaking their CDs. I've heard personalities and celebrities saying I've deleted all his music from my iPod or my playlist or my computer. But how far does it go? Like I said, when you go to a public place and you hear the music, do you just ride it out? Do you just say, I ain't gonna sing along with it? I mean, it can be extreme.
Yeah,
and it takes a lot of energy.
That where I've been, I haven't heard his music per se. I've heard collaborations on the radio, like him and Jay-Z.
Right.
I've heard that.
The radio is one thing, but I've heard the remix to Ignition. It's the remix to Ignition.
I heard that.
I've heard that the other day.
I heard that on Pandora.
Yeah, but I heard that the other day in the public place. That's arguably his most popular song.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Now, I haven't boycotted his music. I can't recall. It's been years since I actually, no, let me see. The last time I actually put in an R. Kelly CD or streamed an entire album was probably in 2013 or 2014. It was the Love Letter album, which is the bomb album. It's not all this, hypersexual stuff. It's just really good music, like Step in the Name of Love, but it's really
It took
deep.
you back to the 60s kind of feeling.
Right, like when the man loves a woman and all that type of stuff.
It took you back to that. And I actually, when I was doing my little podcast, I did the top 5 R. Kelly songs, and I guess that was maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and they're gonna mute you two next.
They're gonna mute me, but I'm gonna take that down. But my point is,
damn, yeah, me too. Y'all making Shayz take her take a video down.
But my point is that I don't intentionally listen to an R. Kelly song. Like, I have a playlist too on my tablet, which has all the songs on it. I don't intentionally listen to R. Kelly, but I notice, like you said, like let's say I look at videos. Let's BET Soul. I told you that song Stroke You Up and Down, that was on
My
there.
Girls, Changing Faces.
Right, but R. Kelly is on there.
R.
Kelly is on there.
R. Kelly's the one that says, I don't mind.
Yeah.
That's him.
And then he's in the video.
And he does the music.
So there are songs, and I've seen a video of R. Kelly on there. So it's like, so what, are we really muting it, or is because it's already pre-taped, you can't take that off? I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that could go along
different
with that.
categories.
And how different things will, because this was these are old videos that's being replayed, it's already in our repertoire, and we didn't do the cutting and pasting of it.
Right.
So I'm saying it's going to be instances where a song is going to slip out. And it's probably not intentional, but because of a playlist or whatever they got going on, a song is going to come out. that remix to Ignition, like you said, as soon as I know people was looking around like, what?
Right.
I mean, they probably ain't saying that, but I know you saw expressions on people's faces like, huh?
But now I understand one aspect of it, because we should have went over the different things that people do, so we'll do that in a future show. But a lot of people say, I'm not going to support anything he does from this point on. And they would say that maybe last year or the year before, or whenever the documentary came out. But all the stuff in the past, I can still listen to comfortably. That's what people would say. People also would say, well, Step in the Name of Love was my wedding song, or the song that played at my wedding reception. What you mean? I'm just going to shut that down? It's written on the program. Mm-hmm. It's on the video of us dancing and all this kind of stuff. No, I'm not going to shut down everything in our past and try to erase the past.
Right, and graduations, I believe I Can Fly was going on.
Graduation ceremonies, and it's definitely written on those programs and on those videos. So that's a subjective thing. It depends on the person, whether you're muting or not. It's a tough one, especially because it's easy for those who were never hardcore R. Kelly fans or just the regular fans. Some people who didn't like him at all, it's going to be easy for them because they never really listened to him. Or those who enjoyed his music but didn't support his music. It's easier for them. So it's a subjective thing. I'm not judging a person if they listen to him or if they don't. One of my closest homeboys, him and his wife, are big R. Kelly fans, and they've been to the concerts and on multiple times. So I don't hold that against them, you know, because I know he's a stand-up guy. He's not out here, my buddy. He's not out here messing with young girls or being a pedophile or doing things like that.
But there's this time and a place where R. Kelly was in people's lives, where his music came into play. Just like you said, at weddings, different things that happen in people's lives, R. Kelly's music was a part of. Yeah. And you can't erase that. When I'm telling you, one year, every graduation, 6th grade, whatever graduation, kindergarten graduation,
high school, college.
Yeah, I Believe I Can Fly was the song.
So, and that's as recent as last year, people had it as their song because it's inspirational. Yeah. So we're going to leave it right there. The art lives forever, but the name is infamous and in many regards has tainted much of his art. So, Lyrics and Lies, Money Green, Shayz on the mic, signing off.
We out.